Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Today I am at my first tech conference, Techo Ranko, and today I will be interviewing my very first connection that I made here, Mr. Assam Al Bukairi from STC. He's directly from my home, Saudi Arabia, so it's really nice to meet a lot of different people from back home. So, Mr. Bukairi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Yeah, I'm really nice as well.
How are you liking
Yeah, I'm really
the
nice.
place?
Thank you so much for sponsoring such a really big event. As you know, STC is a really big sponsor for this event
Yes.
as well. So I just wanted to ask you a few questions. That's all right.
Yeah, fair.
What's one thing students should actually know before joining into the tech world?
Well, so when we say the tech world, that is too big. So let's start making it small. So if we say the tech world, we're talking about coding, okay, and writing programs. Then there are a set of advices I would give. Okay, being my background was a software engineering, I graduated university 2013. Okay, roughly more than 10 years ago, and so we at that time, although YouTube was there, internet was there, and everything was there, it wasn't as much in the books as the generations preceded us. I think we are at a really, really pivotal point today with ChatGPT and everything, and all these tools that will make it easy for you to write coding. However, this is also a trap. Okay, if you don't understand how the underlying engines are working, then you will not be able to actually figure out some of the issues. Okay, you've got to have an open mind when it comes to understanding how things work. And a few questions that you'll come across. Okay, something called compiler. Yes, a question will be, how does the compiler work? Why was it made? Those are fundamental questions that you get to know. And once you start to know these kind of fundamental questions and you get into the habit of asking fundamental questions, I genuinely believe you're going to get the most out of it. You don't have to know the syntax as much. There are tools, for example, ChatGPT fixes all your syntax and all of it. These are minor things, okay? What matters really is architecting things, engineering things together.
Big picture.
A big picture and also detailed picture at the same time.
Yeah.
So you have to have that big picture view, and then you can go to the lowest level and start building from the bottom up and so on and so forth. There are a few things that will come. You've got to practice patience. Yes, because coding is going to test your patience. A semi-comma missing, that is going to take you an hour. Okay.
That's a lot of problem.
Yes. So that's a lot of our experience at the time. It's a lot less at the moment with more advanced tooling. However, I genuinely believe practicing patience, steady pace. Consider that you're dealing with things that are not physical. It's more imaginative. Yes, building components together, all these kind of things, linking it together, all these things. It's mostly are imaginative. Okay, and if you can imagine it, frankly speaking, you can do it. And that's the beauty of being able to code, actually. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what you're saying basically, like we need to really learn the basics and the underlying fundamentals behind coding rather than just relying on AI. That's what you're saying.
To a certain degree, yes. Okay. However, there is a school of thought that you've got to know how to write, what's the syntax, all of these kind of things. I don't believe personally it is as important as it used to be in the past, because we've got a lot of tooling that can fix these challenges and problems. Okay, very easy to manage, very easy to solve for. Yet what matters most is you have a strong understanding of the underlying technologies. Why is it there? Why was it created? Because as you grow into your career, hopefully inshallah in the future, you will reach to a certain problems that cannot be solved with a simple Python 2-line of code. Okay, it will have to be solved by actually understanding how memory allocation happens. Okay, and how the operating system APIs are actually interacting with your application, and do you have the right memory speed and the right memory bus and all these kinds of things. You may not come across it, honestly speaking, but having that know-how and understanding will give you the confidence that you can navigate any problem. If we as developers or software engineers, I used to be a software engineer in the past I worked for about 6 years or so. We are continuous problem solvers. The more in-depth knowledge that you have, the more confidence that you have in order to solve these upcoming problems, even the problems that you don't know that they will come on.
That's a lot of things. But what you said is really, really valuable, and not many computer science students knows this kind of stuff. Thank you for sharing them. And I wanted to ask you another question. If you are 19 again, how would you start your tech career? Like nowadays, the tech career market is really competitive due to AI.
Yeah.
And back then it was a little bit less saturated, but now it's a lot more competitive. So how do we progress in terms of technical knowledge and soft skills as well.
Okay, so it depends, and I think it's a bit also too early for someone to decide what are their career objectives. Because at 19, if I recall myself at 19, I had a certain vision, a certain view that is different than what I am today. Okay, so it will be an overkill to say you've got to know what you want to do in the future, but at least you've got an overarching plan. Okay, so your technical skills are luckily with ChatGPT and AI tools. I think this is gonna reduce the time you will need to learn quite a lot, Okay, so you could ask it and say, give me a detailed step-by-step plan on how to learn 1, 2, 3 and understanding from the bottom up. And I honestly, until this day, I would go and just recheck certain facts that I used to know, just a refresher, and I use ChatGPT to do that. Okay, and it will help me to put things together. So that's with respect to the technical side of things. Okay, I think AI is a massive enabler. It's not a replacement at the moment. If AI can write code, so be it. That's amazing. In fact, that's really amazing. If AI can write really good code, but it's not at the moment a very good coder. Okay. However, think of yourself as someone who works in technology, as someone who wants to direct AI. How does it work? And if it is writing a good code, then that's amazing. That's really good plus. So I'll touch base on the soft skills side. Okay, soft skills side are really important. Okay, when it comes to your professional career, when it comes to if you want to build your own company. Okay, you want to build relationships. You want to, I'd say, do sales, for example. All these kind of things. If you want to do a startup, for example, you've got to do all the above. Okay, and soft skills are essential in computer science, and I say essential because there are certain fields in computer science, be it in the research field and be it on those levels of field, it may not be as essential as it is in a corporate world. Okay, corporates having your soft skills, it will accelerate your growth within that corporate ladder. Yes, and your movement and your ability to come on big talks. For example, we're having this conversation as an example. That not a lot of computer scientists will do that, if you get what I mean, because it's much easier to work with machines, frankly speaking, and it is less challenging. And yeah, and I love to talk to machines. They kind of get it, if you get what I mean.
You don't really have to explain them things. You just talk about it.
Yes.
And the machine itself, they're like, okay, I understand you. So that's the thing that you are trying to explain. So soft skills are really necessary in the corporate world as well as in the technical field for learning as well.
Yes.
If you could describe your company's mission in one word, what would that be? STC.
Oh, for STC, we're actually we are the leaders. We are the key enablers of digital economy. Okay, and this is what we do. Okay, and we are the biggest enabler for Kingdom Saudi Arabia Vision 2030 when it comes to digital economy, and we are the partner of choice to the Vision 2030 and so on and so forth. So effectively, compiling all of this into just a small sentence, I'd say we just, as STC, we enable connectivity so that people could talk to each other and build relationships, as well as businesses could grow through the connectivity mediums that we're providing.
Thank you so much and just before a bonus question.
Yeah.
AI or humans? Who is winning right now?
I don't think there is a competition, honestly. I wouldn't think of it as they're competing, because there are certain things that AI can do much better than us as humans. For example, if you have a big a big log, okay, and you want to discover what's happening in it, okay, it's much easier just to throw it at AI and say, find me this, okay, or investigate the problem. It'll take it maybe 1 minute or less. So that's one area where that use case makes sense for AI to do it. Okay? Yeah, it's not about winning or losing. I think humans, or we as people, we are the ones, or technologists, we are the ones in control, and we get to use, and I look at AI as tools. If they are fulfilling a certain need, they will definitely use it. I'll take maybe 15 or 20 years ago, or even before that, okay, college students, they were writing something called assembly, which is the nearest thing to how operating system executes its commands, okay? And that was the case. And that was advanced at that time, okay? Even before 20 years ago, honestly speaking. So look at where we're at. If you bring someone who, if you bring someone who wrote this language and bring them to Python right away, they're going to say, well, we cracked it. Now, this is what I like. This is, if you get what I mean. And then take them to the next level where you can have the machine to write the code. And then they will start to be worried a lot. Okay, I didn't think I think there are a lot of complexities that engineers and soft and computer scientists can solve, and it's not easy to be solved by. It cannot be solved by AI because it's not meant to be solved by AI. It's not meant to be solved by AI. Yeah.
It needs the human creativity and the complexity to understand
Yes.
what's the underlying things.
Yes, for sure, for sure. If you do an app like Uber, for example, what's the customer experience? Okay. What if someone is angry? How do you treat with them? How do you treat them, etc.? How do you design your customer journey and all of that? And you have different types of users. There is a blind person. There is someone with certain disability. You've got someone who doesn't speak English. You've got someone who speaks certain language. Okay. There are many challenges. Okay. That needs to be solved. That's not, honestly speaking, related to AI writing code. Okay, AI can help in improving those challenges and fixing those challenges, but eventually, you as future engineers, inshallah, okay, you will be able to create that value. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
You're
giving
most
a
welcome.
really big interview and taking so much of your time to really
No
explain
worries.
the future of computer science and really guiding the way for computer science students like me was really thrown into the pool filled with sharks. So you guys are literally the sharks and we're the fishes talking to them. And you're literally explaining us how do we progress as a computer science student, as a member of the society, how do you contribute to the technical field and as a country as a whole.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for doing a really big interview with me. And inshallah, I really hope to meet you in the future in the same conference, maybe we can talk to you 1 year later with more experience.
Inshallah. Wish you all the best. Nice meeting you. And wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you.